So I just needed to get the Star Wars fanboy in me out of the way in my trailer reactions, so go check that out if you haven't. It's just basically just a 19-year-old kid fanboying about Star Wars Episode 9. Anyway, here is the Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker Easter eggs explained. So basically we're going to go through the teaser trailer together and analyze every single reference or homage or Easter egg and basically try to explain what's going on here. So the first frame of importance is this: every generation has a legend, which is the same text that is present in the Episode 1 Phantom Menace teaser trailer, which I thought was kind of interesting, how Episode 1 and Episode 9 all link up, and, you know, as George Lucas has said, it's like a stanza, it rhymes with the next. It's like poetry. So in this instance it kind of is, because the teaser trailer for Episode 1 mirrors the Episode 9 teaser trailer with every generation has a legend. Very nice quote indeed. Anyway, as we go to the next few frames, we have Rey as she retains her pistol and her lightsaber. Now this is, I guess, Anakin's lightsaber or Luke's lightsaber, whatever you want to call it, now belongs to Rey. I guess it's reconstructed. It does live, as Daisy Ridley says during Star Wars Celebration, the Episode 9 panel. She says that Luke's lightsaber lives. So, as you can see here, it does, along with her pistol, as she is going to combat Kylo Ren's ship that is shown off in The Last Jedi. As you can see here, she is flipping over it and kind of into it. It's pretty cool, actually. So that just tells you right there that Rey is, you know, flipping around like a Jedi of old in the prequels, so that's kind of interesting. Moving on here, we see a ship go to a city, pretty busy city here. We don't get a great look of what city this is and what planet this is, but oh well, we'll see it in the film. Anyway, we see Kylo Ren just being an absolute badass, basically just killing all of these soldiers here in brutal fashion using his red lightsaber that he uses, and that's pretty cool, just a really cool shot. Now you see him without the mask, and a few frames later you see Kylo Ren's mask being reconstructed. But yeah, as you can see, that hand does not look like Kylo Ren's hand. It looks a bit old and wrinkly and, you know, a bit alien actually, so it's not Kylo Ren reconstructing his helmet, so I wonder who is. We'll see during the film, I guess. Anyway, as you can see here, we have Poe and Finn in their new outfits, but we have Poe and Finn there, which are pretty cool, new designs, and then we have BB-8 and his new friend Dio. Now that is a new droid that was shown off during the Star Wars Episode 9 panel, and you know, I really like the design, you know, his little speaker head, I don't know, I kind of like it. Very nice little cute design. He kind of matches BB-8's sort of orange and white color scheme with green and white, and he looks dirty like the other droids in the sequel trilogy and the original trilogy, in fact. So yeah, they're sticking to the sort of dirty look of the droids of old, so that's kind of cool. Nice little new droid there with Dio, and then we have the main man himself, Billy D. Williams, back as Lando Calrissian, manning the Millennium Falcon, and he's going to hyperspace, so that's just cool. You know, that's just sick, you know. But as a Star Wars fan, you get hyped, you know, you get hyped up for this type of thing, you know, Lando flying for Millennium Falcon again, awesome stuff. So yeah, as we move on, we have Poe and Finn and C-3PO going to town with this sort of cruiser here. And, you know, it seems like a pretty heavy action scene. Kind of reminds me of Return of the Jedi, actually. How they're on sort of Jabba's ship. Kind of reminds me of that, just the look of it and the look of the little sequence. But yeah, here we have the medal that Luke and Han received during A New Hope, and obviously Chewie didn't get the medal, but that is the medal, so will that play some sort of significance? Probably not, just it's sort of, fan service, I guess, for the ones who recognized it, but that's the medal that Han and Luke got from A New Hope, which is kind of cool. And then we see probably the most tearjerker scene in the entire trailer. We have Leia and Rey, hugging and embracing one another, and then we have a close-up of Daisy Ridley, Rey's face tearing up as she is saying goodbye probably to Leia, and as they hug. Now that's kind of emotional in and of itself, because Leia is such an important character in the franchise, and also Carrie Fisher's death is I mean, she passed away a couple of years ago now, they're using sort of deleted scenes and archival footage of her from The Force Awakens and whatnot, so that's how scenes like this can exist. But it's just, I mean, she's irreplaceable. Carrie Fisher is irreplaceable, what can I say? And I'm glad they're using archival footage of her in Episode 9, even though, I mean, we all wish she was actually here. So, rest in peace, Carrie Fisher. I'm glad she is still in the movie one way or another. And, yeah. So, moving on here. We have the gang. We have Finn, Poe, Rey in her new outfit. It's kind of new, like it looks very much like the Force Awakens outfit, just a lot more cleaned up. C-3PO, Dio, BB-8, and Chewbacca all sort of gazing their eyes, as their eyes gaze to this base of operations. It's obviously broken. It looks a bit Death Star-ish. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. It probably isn't, to be fair. It's just a shattered base, I guess. Maybe this is where, the real villain is hiding out of the saga, and that real villain is Darth Sidious, because he laughs at the end of the trailer. Now, people are going to say this is a, this is not true. I mean, Sidious is in the movie, trailer at least, but it could be a bait and switch. I don't think it is. I mean, Star Wars Episode 9 is going to add a lot of prequel elements. That's what was reported a few months back, and I think having Palpatine, it seems like a pretty cool idea. Maybe he's maybe he shows up in a different fashion than just, living and surviving the second Death Star, but I don't know. But I think he's in the movie. Chances are, if I were to be a betting man, I think he'll show up in the movie and it's not going to be a bait or switch. But here we have the Star Wars Rise of Skywalker logo. It's cool. I love the blue. So we have yellow, red, and blue. That's sick. Yellow being the Force Awakens logo, red being The Last Jedi, and blue symbolizing the Rise of Skywalker. Now, what does the Rise of Skywalker actually mean? Obviously, nobody knows yet the significance of the title and what the Rise of Skywalker means. I have a couple of theories. One, we could see an Anakin Force Ghost. That could be possible. I'm not rolling it out because, again, it has been reported that a ton of prequel stuff will be in this movie. A ton of prequel references, they'll, have some nods to the prequels is what I'm saying. And they'll have more emphasis on it because it is the final film in the saga, so they kind of have to, even though people have had mixed feelings on the prequels, you kind of have to have some prequel elements in there because it is the final film of the Skywalker saga. So what a fitting title to go out with, by the way, The Rise of Skywalker. Wow, just a great title in my opinion. Anyway, The Rise of Skywalker, what could this mean? Could it be relating to Anakin or Luke? I mean, Luke seems like a possibility, even though The Last Jedi, that is, Luke's title, basically. So it could not be, The Rise of Luke Skywalker, even though that, doesn't really make sense because he's dead. But, he'll show up in one way or another. I think it could be Rey. I'm not saying she's a Skywalker, she's blood related to any Skywalkers, any previous Skywalkers, but she should, she could adopt that title and basically, like move past the Jedi and the Sith and basically make a new sort of, for a lack of a better word, religion. The Skywalkers, she could have that title of a Skywalker without being blood related. So the Rise of Skywalker, that could mean Rey just adopting that title, who really knows. But I'm not ruling out Anakin being in this movie as a Force ghost. That I don't, I'm not ruling that out at all. Also, just the biggest theory on the horizon is Kylo Ren being redeemed, the Rise of Skywalker. He turns into, he embraces the Skywalker name, like that's the biggest theory going along, and Kylo Ren is being redeemed and all of that. I can see that also. That's probably the best, most likely possibility. I'm just talking about, Anakin and Luke as sort of, and even Rey, adopting the Skywalker name as just secondary options to the obvious Kylo Ren redeemed story arc. So the Rise of Skywalker, what does that mean? Leave your thoughts down in the comment section below. That's going to do it for me. So yeah, please make sure to rate, comment, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye.